it's a big one. Yeah! Oh, this is awesome. Dreamed of this day my whole life.
Stop number 3 of the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit is over in Dunwith here at Lake Murray. We got ourselves a brand new Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit champion, Mr. Matt Becker.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah, you got the big trophy. You obviously got the big check.
Yeah.
Life's pretty good for Matt Becker right now.
Life is really good. You know, it's been a true blessing this week. It's a dream come true for sure.
You said stressful a lot this week in describing your fishing.
Yeah.
But lucky for you, there's no stress today, right? We just get to go out, hang out, break down how you caught fish on Murray this week. And we're gonna have a little bit of fun doing it, I guess, right?
I think we're gonna might catch a bass today, so let's go.
Ooh, I love it. Let's rock. All right, Matt, made a short little run from Dreer Island, and we're on a little point. This is basically what you did all week, was fish a lot of these.
A lot.
With a lot of these.
A lot of points.
And catch bass.
I promise you, I pulled up my trolling motor more than anybody else in this field. You know, I did a lot of jumping. I'd pull up on a point like this, you know, make maybe 10 casts. There are either fish up there, shallow on the point that are looking to feed, or they're slid off here off the drop and you ain't gonna really catch them when they're out there. So I would just look for those ones that are there to feed and that are, you know, ready to eat. So I would just run around, hit as many of them as I can, and eventually would collide into 5 that were up there ready to feed, you know, but it was all a timing deal. So
I got you.
You just had to hit the right place at the right time.
And this is really, it's a blueback herring spawn pattern is what you were running, right?
Yes.
That's what we're mimicking.
That's what we're doing here. I'm not positive that they're actually spawning yet. I think they're even, you know, kind of pre-spawning stuff. The herring are, because they'd be sitting out off the bars and points as well. So they definitely were spawning like up on the bank in practice, but that cold front, I think, kind of knocked them back a little bit.
I gotcha.
So I think they're just kind of, you know, kind of like a bass stages. They're just kind of sitting off the point waiting to actually get up there and spawn. But again, I really don't know exactly how it works, so.
Yeah, these aren't smallmouths, right? This is,
right.
It's not a Cisco or something like that you'd know more about back home.
Yeah, alewife, you know, I'm very familiar with alewives and stuff like that, but.
All right, Matt, it was kind of, I guess, I mean, I know you threw several things this week, but really, the Googan bait's dart was kind of your one bait wonder, right? That was the heavy hitter for you?
For sure, especially once the sun got up like this. You know, early in the morning, I would throw a couple different baits and a couple different colors, but once the sun got up and they could see well, that's when I went to this one right here. That's the Googan dart in the green gizzard color. Just looks very natural in the water. I was rigging it up a pretty unique way. This is something that I've done with my soft plastic jerk baits for a while now. I take a Trocar TK180. It's a 5/0. It's actually a drop shot hook. You know, it's like a straight shank drop shot hook, and you rig it up exposed hook style like that. And then actually before I rig up the bait, I'm taking some lead wire and wrapping the shank of the hook.
Just to give it a little weight.
Give it a little weight, helps you cast it further and helps keep it below the surface when I'm working it so fast like that and giving it those pulls so it doesn't jump out of the water. You know, like I said, I wanted to try and keep that bait subsurface. And then once I get the bait rigged on there, I'm adding a Trocar treble hook just for an extra stinger in case those fish swipe at it and miss it. There's just an extra security blanket there with a stinger hook in case they don't really get the bait perfect, that you can still. And I actually, my big fish of the week, the first day I had a 6.5 and it was only on one of the treble hooks. So really that one fish right there probably won the tournament for me looking back.
Right.
And is truly thanks to that one Trocar treble hook on there. So definitely very important to add that stinger hook.
What about your size fluorocarbon rod and reel and all that too?
Yeah, so I'm throwing it on a favorite Hex series rod. It's a 7'5" medium heavy. I wanted a little bit longer rod for these, these pulls. This technique, you need a little bit longer rod. It helps move that bait. And it's a medium heavy power, so it's not too much. It loads up well whenever one eats it way out there, and you can fight those fish well. I was putting it on a Soleus XCS reel, 7.3 to 1 gear ratio, just, standard, nothing crazy there. And then I was spooling it up with a 15-pound Seagar Invisex fluorocarbon. Just a good all-around, moving bait line right there. So just casts well and handles those big fish well. So I pretty much boat flipped most of the fish here this week, and that line did the job perfectly. Yeah, so basically we'd pull up on these points, and my retrieve was a little, I guess, very important this week. What I was doing was bombing that as far as I could, and I'm giving it a long pull, so that bait's moving probably 3-4 feet like that, and I give it a pull and then give it 2 twitches, and a pull, a couple twitches. So they would see it when I'm pulling it. That's when they would see it. It looks like a herring swimming along the top. And then you pause it and give them a couple twitches, and that's when they would usually crush it.
Okay.
You would go to pull again, and he would be loaded up on there. And
it wasn't your standard, a lot of guys that are throwing flukes, or they're either straight reeling them as fast as they can, getting it, like skip it across the water,
right.
Or, a lot of that like reel twitch,
Yeah.
just keep it like that fleeing bait fish. You kind of took a little different approach to it.
I did a little bit of all of that, but I felt like the points were getting a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Everybody's
Yes.
fishing the same points. Everyone fished this point here for sure. And just doing something a little different. A lot of guys were throwing an actual top water. So with my fluke, I wanted it to be just a little bit under the surface. Just so it just looks a little different than the top waters they've been seeing all day long. And then, just pausing it for that 1 extra second gives them time to come up and eat it.
Sure.
If they're following it. A lot of them would follow it and kind of try and hit it 2 or 3 times, but whenever you'd pause it and twitch it a couple times right in their face, they would eat it.
I know you said you'd give a couple casts, but I mean, was there like, if we pulled up, like by now we probably would have caught one, right? Like in the tournament,
Absolutely.
You would have moved on?
Absolutely, I'd been gone by now.
Second stop of the day, Matt.
Yeah.
We're moving a little slower, obviously, filming. But
You guys are holding me up.
yeah, no, you're probably like it's just, second nature now to pull the trolling motor up after a few casts and move on to the next one if you hadn't caught one. But
That's right.
it's just the same principle. It doesn't matter, like before we were back in a creek on a flat point. Here we're more main lake.
Yeah.
It was just a numbers game.
Yeah, and this one, these two were a little bit bigger points. So, it takes a little bit longer to cover them.
Okay.
Some of my best spots were very small, sneaky little points. So it was more of like a 1-2 cast deal. Like there's either one there and he's gonna eat, or they're not there. So it was a lot easier to cover water that way.
Oh, okay.
Like this one would take a few casts to cover the whole point because they could be anywhere up on here. But we should have had a bite by now.
So what you're saying is just like another cast or two,
Yeah.
and we're gone.
We're on our
One
way.
thing I feel like we should point out, and you said this kind of before we started filming, but right now we have the wind kind of at our back.
Yeah.
And you would set up so that you could use that to your advantage for casting.
Yeah, I change my boat position every day, just based on the wind, because this bait doesn't cast very well into the wind.
Yeah.
So I would always try to cast with the wind and just position my boat differently every day. And it didn't really seem to matter for the fish. They didn't care which direction the bait was coming from.
As long as something came in front of them.
Yep.
And they were up here, they wanted to eat.
They're gonna eat it, absolutely. I'm not gonna say a 10-pounder, but I will say a 3-pounder.
He said he would be shocked if we don't catch one here, because the conditions are
The wind is perfect, like if y'all are ready.
to the riprap.
To the riprap. And see how that little point comes out right there? You can
Yeah. I
it?
see what you're talking about now.
Like, that's the juice.
The juice.
Yeah, this spot was very key to me here. I was kind of struggling yesterday morning, and I only had 3 fish, and I'd really been fishing down close to the dam, and I made the long run all the way up here just for this spot, probably about this time, and caught me like a 3.5 pounder, and it just really.
There he is. Oh, that was cool, man.
Did you see him eat that?
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, it is.
This spot is awesome.
Right where he should have been.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's some more following him in. Jeez.
Other side of the boat. I mean, he's trying to treat you like he's a smallmouth right now, man.
That's
Gosh,
a big
dang
one.
it, he
I could have
choked it.
used him.
I could have. You actually, I mean, you totally could have.
Absolutely, yeah, he choked it.
Dude, he did.
He got that Googan dart down in the gullet. Man, gonna need the pliers to get him off. Dang, I could have used him yesterday.
I feel like that fish catch was kind of how your week played out. You know, you were just talking about the good one you caught on the final day when you pulled in here.
Yeah.
That one ate it, but it was right where you said it should be.
Oh, yeah.
Right on that color change of the point. That was really how things kind of played out, right?
Yeah, you know, this spot in particular was real special this week. You know, it's like every time I pulled in here, I'd catch one, you know, a good one, 3.5 to 4 pounder, and it just, you know, it really saved me. Especially yesterday on day 4, you know, I was struggling early in the morning. I made a good run up here just for this spot, and I caught one like that right away, and it just really calmed me down and just, you know, set the tone for the rest of the day and relaxed me to know that everything's gonna be all right and I'm gonna catch them, because I was having a pretty rough morning up till about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So this spot right here, huge help, just confidence-wise, calming the nerves, as well as bringing me probably 4 or 5 of the fish I weighed in this week. That was a pretty awesome bite though. We saw him come up.
That was sweet.
crush.
I got a backlash. Don't worry about me.
We swallowed it.
Now, did a lot of them do that too? Like eat it
No.
right on the top? Because your fluke does stay a lot lower. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about that.
So honestly, like a lot of them I never saw. I would just go to jerk again
And it was
would
just
load
tight.
up. Yeah, he would just load up. You know, I seen a few of them eat it like that. I did see the 6 pounder follow it and eat it like 20 feet from my trolling motor. So
Dude, that
was
would
pretty
be
cool.
insane.
But generally, most of the fish I caught, I didn't see eat it. I would just go to pull again, and it would just load up on them. I would see a swirl or something, you know, out there, but
Sure.
not actually see the fish eat it like that one. All right, well, we kind of drifted in on this spot, so
New spot?
I say we roll over another point, see if we can't do the same thing.
I'm all about it. Matt, I think anyone that has followed your career, you know, you won Rookie of the Year in 2018, but even before that, I think a lot of people that know you weren't surprised that at some point you were going to be a champion on the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit.
You know, that's what everyone says, but I didn't believe it. I didn't think I could win. I just thought I was a consistent fisherman and, you know, didn't fish the way you needed to do to win. But
But
it
when
worked
things
out
all
this
line
week.
up,
Yes,
you know what happens. You made a lot of good
Yes.
decisions this week too.
absolutely.
But when you got back and you're sitting in the line, what was it like? Because Gagliardi actually had a bag, you know, and you caught him pretty good again.
I did.
You did what you need to do, but at the same
did.
time, was there still a lot of uncertainty before you weighed in?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, got him,
Nope.
got the ball.
I got the ball.
You know, I was very nervous in the bag line because rumblings there about, you know, he caught a big bag, and I'm like, oh geez, you know, this guy gonna come do it again. Breaks everybody's heart here,
Right.
but
Oh, sorry, Rob.
you know, worked out just the way it should, and I'm extremely happy to get a W finally. You know, I don't win tournaments. You know, I haven't won that many tournaments. I've won a few local tournaments and stuff like that, but
You won a Toyota Series.
I won a Toyota Series, and that's really what got me my start on the pro circuit, but that's it. I mean, this was the first time I've ever been leading a tournament, you know, so I mean, it's just so many things this week, and it's pretty awesome. I want to do it again now.
Oh, I can only imagine. And it's like you know, 4 years on the pro circuit, like you've had you know, top 10s, you've had good finishes, you've been kind of in
Yeah.
the run, like Martin, I think, of last year, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like you could have won that one. You were in contention, you were
Right.
doing the right thing, you were kind of also doing stuff that you felt comfortable doing.
Yep.
So I think it's cool to see now, especially with the kind of the roller coaster you got to ride a little bit, right? You've
Yeah.
had some lows, you've had some highs,
Yeah.
and now this early in the year to get a W probably makes it even sweeter.
And that's what kind of worked out perfect with this event is like, I just fell in love with this like instantly. You know, I came here in pre-practice and I just absolutely loved it. I could run around and sight fish, you know, the water's clear, and I just loved that. And I knew coming back, you know, this time of year that the fish were gonna be feeding up on herring, and I love catching bass that feed up. You know,
Yep.
whether it's a soft plastic jerk bait like this, that's probably my favorite bait to throw of all time, is a soft plastic jerk bait. So I knew that's what I was going with the whole time. It just lined up perfect that this lake fits my style.
Yep.
But also, I spent 3 days at Clark's Hill Lake before practice started here.
Oh, okay.
And I was really learning about these herring lakes, and I kind of dialed in this technique over there. And that was a huge help this week because I came here with confidence, knowing how to catch these fish on these points,
Oh, I
knowing
gotcha.
that they'd eat this bait, work this way. And yeah, that was probably one of the biggest keys to success this week, was just having that confidence already before I even got to Lake Murray.
Well, Matt, I appreciate you coming back out. I am proud as heck to be out here filming day 5 with you because, like I said, it's no surprise to myself or any of the other guys here at MLF. But I have a flight to catch. You probably have some unread texts to answer.
Yeah.
Maybe some emails, some missed calls.
All of that. We got all of that. And I'm gonna try and drive home today. So
Wow, you got a lot of things on your plate.
yeah, we got a busy day, but no, it's been fun. Appreciate the opportunity to come out here.
As much as you love Lake Murray, I'm going to make you leave, but I hope
be
you come back.
I'll be back.
Good job, dude.
Thank you.